Right, you know what? I'm just going to cut to the chase. I have just sat and failed a test that was administered to 11-year-old children in America. As a result, I have lost a bet, and you're going to see me fail hard now. At the end of the video, I'll show you where you can get your hands on a copy of this test yourself. Right, if you are watching this, something has gone monumentally wrong. Cut a long story short, I made a bet. I hosted a debate on my channel on Saturday night. It finished quite late. Went downstairs, had a few beers, and in the aftermath just did something very silly. A friend of mine sent me an email saying he'd found a test, a science test, based in biology, that was given to some 10 or 11-year-old students in the United States. It was just pre-high school, so I think that's about 10 or 11. I might be wrong. Anyway, there's 13 questions. He said the pass mark is 9, and there's no way that I could get 9 on this. And I've been teaching science for 21 years, so my bravado kicked in, and I said, of course I can. So he said, well, I've got to film it, and if I don't pass, I will put it on my internet channel, which will be a YouTube channel, which will make me look like a complete moron. I'd have to admit to failing a test that 11-year-old children have passed. But if I do pass, he's going to mow my lawn for the next month, which will be absolutely fantastic. So I'm actually streaming this to a sock channel that I've got where I upload little test videos to make sure they don't get copyright claimed and stuff. And he's watching it on that and downloading it himself as evidence in case I cheat or anything. So he's packaged a test for me. All I can say is I haven't got a clue what it's about, but I need to get 9. Before we start, I'd just like to say, John, you smell. I know it's a bit awkward to try and tell you in person. Well, it's not awkward, it's just difficult because you smell. I don't like to speak around you or inhale. Anyway, let's get going. Question 1. The fuck? Can you marry your relation? Right? There's a spelling error on the counselling at the bottom. So either John, you've remained a numpty in your elder years, or it's well, it's American, isn't it? 1L, that's how they do it. My bad. Can you marry your relation? No. Okay. Or is this going to be a pedantic test where it says, well, actually, and then it goes in some kind of genetics answer and it shows that we're kind of partially related to millions of people? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say no. I'm going to regret this. So I'm going to say B, and the answer is... Of course it is. Yeah, well done, John. Right. So I can get 3 more wrong. All right. Question 2. I mean, first of all, what has that got to do with science anyway? All right, I know where this is going. If you've not seen the channel before, I make videos on some of the videos on people that believe in young earth creationism. Kent Hovind is a huge young earth creationist who told me that the kangaroos stepped off the ark in Turkey, which is in the Middle East. I am 95% sure he sent me a young earth creationist test. 95% certain, which would mean the answer to this is yes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this benefit of the doubt, John, right? I'm going to say no, even though I think it's yes. I'm going to say B just for some scientific integrity. And if it does come out as A, then I know 100% it's a young earth creationist test, and I'll breeze the rest of it. So there you go, stuff you. So I'm going to say B. No, they didn't live in the Middle East. See, they don't only live in Australia now, though, do they? They're in zoos and stuff. I mean, I'm going to put no. They didn't live in the Middle East. Okay, right. So it's a young earth creationist paper that kids have got. By the way, one of the clauses to this bet is afterwards he's going to show me where this test was found, and if this wasn't legitimately given to students in a school, a proper school, I'm not uploading this. So remember that, John. Okay, you'll be mowing my lawn. Question 3. Which of the following best illustrates a prehistoric animal? See, now I know this is a creationist test. Obviously, I would have gone for Brachiosaurus. I think that they've been gone millions of years. Mammoths are only a few thousand, aren't they? But because I know this is a creationist test, I'm going to go for none of the above. I'm going to go for D. And the answer is, of course it's D. Of course it's D. So I've got 2 out of 3. There's 10 questions left. All I need to do is, I've got 1 out of 3. There's 10 questions left. All I need to do is score 9. Here we go. And there's the final confirmation, even if we didn't know already. Has God told us when he made Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Definitely a creationist paper. Has he told us? He must have, because I don't think young earth creationists deny the existence of dinosaurs at all, do they? But they do think that God made all the animals on the 6th day. So, yeah, it must be the 6th day. So, yes, the answer is yes. Obviously, I don't believe that. Don't start clipping this out and making it look like I'm a young earth creationist. I don't believe that, but yeah, there we go. So that is what a scientifically illiterate young earth creationist would say. That's 2 out of 4. Tyrannosaurus Rex has teeth up to 15 centimeters long. How would this dinosaur originally have been described? Good question. All right. Plant eater, meat eater, scavenger, or a plant and meat eater? Now, I don't actually know how young earth creationists describe dinosaurs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read into the question and assume that they have a little bit of integrity, and they wouldn't point out the 15 centimeter long teeth. They wouldn't point out the features of a predator and carnivore in the question if the answer wasn't a meat eater. Maybe this is them trying to merge kind of reality with their own fantasy. Interesting though, John, if you are watching, before you get your lawnmower out, I did see a video a while ago about Tyrannosaurus Rex on YouTube, claiming that they were one of the biggest spreaders of fruit seeds, but not because they ate the fruits, because they ate the animals that ate the fruits, and because they moved around more than the animals that ate the fruit, they actually were more efficient at dispersing. Anyway, stuff it. Why am I? It's not going to go out anyway. This is it. So I'm going to say a meat eater, B, clearly. I mean, why would you say that? Why would you mislead someone that's 10 or 11 years old by deliberately pointing out the features of a carnivore in a question? Unless they're trying to say to those kids that carnivore... It's wank. Right, question 7. It's the same question. Same answer. Right, let's move on. Good one, that, John. Well done. Question 8. How many have I got right? I think I can only get 2 more wrong anyway. Bollocks. Where was the Garden of Eden located? Australia, America, around Tigris and the Euphrates rivers? We can't know. I don't know. This will be a complete guess. Obviously, I'm going to rule out Australia. Obviously, I'm going to rule out America. See, if it says in the Bible anything about Tigris and Euphrates, then a young earth creationist is definitely going to say that's the answer. Rather than we can't know. But I don't know whether it does not, so I'm going to guess on that. Toss of the coin, I'm going to say C. Perhaps it mentions it in Genesis, those rivers, in which case they take everything completely literally, and that'll be the answer they give us. And it's obviously D, isn't it? Fucking awesome. Right. I can get 1 more wrong. And then I've got to put this out on my YouTube channel, John. The one I'm trying to build, John. I've got to put this rubbish out if I get 1 more wrong. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Which statement is the most accurate? The Bible contains the word of God. The Bible is the word of God. Oh, of man. The Bible is the word of God. The Bible becomes the word of God as you read it. See, I would say the Bible contains the Word of God is what I would go for. But I'm trying to get in the mindset of a creationist here. And I know when I've debated creationists before, whether it be on Discord or on YouTube or whatever, and I've talked about inaccuracies in the Bible, anything that I pull out as a claimed inaccuracy in the Bible, they will refute and say it's not inaccurate. There are no inaccuracies. There's absolutely no inaccuracies. So if it only contains the Word of God, and some of it is the word of man, then that means that there are inaccuracies in it because man wouldn't be perfect. So I'm wondering, would a creationist just say the Bible is the Word of God? Full stop. I know, it's not even a science test, this. I'm going to go for C. Yep. So I've got to put this out then. Awesome. I hope you're happy watching this at home, John. I hope you know now that rather than you coming around mowing my lawns, I'm going to have to get my wife and kids to go out and do that. In the rain. We've got an electric lawnmower. If anything happens, it's your fault. Question 10. I even said it had to be the first take as well. Stop being fun now, this. Creation scientists and evolutionary scientists. Yeah, use same evidence, different presuppositions. Right, well, creation scientists don't use any evidence. They're all presuppositions. I know that they would say exactly the same about, well, they call them evolutionary scientists. I'm just going to call them scientists. So they'd say the same. So there's going to be nothing, it's not going to be any of these complementary ones, is it? So I would say they claim that we use the same evidence but have different starting points. So I'm going to go for A. Oh, how is that even? Use only evidence and no... See, that's what scientists do. But creation scientists believe that evolutionary... I'm not going to say evolutionary scientists. That normal scientists don't do that. How hard can you fail? Yes, is the answer. Most theologians who do not take Genesis literally are all the better for it. I don't know. Question A. Obtain their ideas from the Bible itself, are interpreting God consistently, are influenced by ideas outside of the Bible. None of the above. Right. So, these are other Christians that are not creationists that they're referring about, or they're referring to. So, I don't think a young earth creationist will go with B. A or C, isn't it? I'm going to go with C on this one. Yeah. And that is such a cop-out from young earth creationists to say that they rely on evidence and they use evidence, right, from the real world, but then here in this test saying, well, actually, if you're going to be influenced by stuff that isn't in the Bible, then you're not making the right decisions. That's just completely backward to me. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So this, Johnny, this isn't actually a school test, mate. This ain't going out. No, I'm telling you now. I'm not spitting my dummy out, throwing my toys out the pram. But if this wasn't actually administered to kids in a school, then this ain't going out. Right. To completely understand Christian doctrine, one needs to read the book of Genesis, believe the main parts, believe and understand the book of Genesis, or believe just those parts quoted in the New Testament? Okay, well, A, we could all read something. That doesn't mean you understand it. You know, flat earthers might be given an instruction on how to construct a tent, for example, and they'd be there all week. Believe the main parts of Genesis. Question says understand. Think Bloom's taxonomy. For the teachers out there, you've got to get your keywords in, so it can't be B. Believe and understand the book of Genesis. It can't be D, because surely you wouldn't believe those parts quoted in the New Testament. That you wouldn't be cherry picking parts of the book of Genesis if you are taking the Bible literally, would you? So it's got to be C. Of course it's D. Of course it is. I think I've got 3 right in the entire. And I know this is a creationist quiz. I know you're laughing. Sat in your room. I'm going to come around your house in a minute. Darwinian microbes to man evolution is a belief. No. No, the cheeky buggers. Belief or religion. No. My word. Right, well, clearly it's none of the above, but what would a young earth creationist say? A young earth creationist would say all of the above. Right, so ta-da. There we go, got that one right. The book of Genesis is the foundation of all major Christian doctrines. Historical narrative, blah, 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 blah. What would a young earth creationist say? They would say it is A or C, and I've got, oh no, well, they know historical narrative. Of course they would say it's B. Of course. $15. The meaning of sin is dependent on the meaning of sin. Could get quite philosophical, but I won't, because philosophy is boring. I'll just say they go with all of the above, D. Yay! Finish on a high. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to town and make sure this was actually administered to kids in a proper school. If it is, I'm going to put this video out and I'm going to stop making bets. End of. And I guess like I'm going to have to mow my own lawn. That was the most rubbish thing I've ever done. And perhaps the most rubbish video I'll ever put out, John, if I've got to put that out. See you later. Right, well, if you've made it this far into the video without unsubscribing, then I don't know how, but thank you very much for that. If you want to find a copy of this test yourself, you can simply type these words into Google and it will take you to this exact page here. And when you scroll down, not only will you see all the questions in their full glory, so to speak, you'll find the answer key up here, and you'll also find justification for why they said each answer was correct. And some of these are absolutely hilarious, to be honest. Well worth having a look at some of those. And when I say for why each answer was correct, why they think they were correct. Anyway, I've embarrassed myself more than enough for today. I'm going to go away. I'll see you Sunday. Meow.